going to have some pretty good participation. So if anyone has any questions, how many people here are requested to be here for easement? Show of hands, anyone here?
I just
What
got
do you mean requested to be here for easement?
I just got a letter in the mail saying there's a town open
Okay.
meeting for an underground utilities conversion, which we've been talking about here for years.
Okay,
And to attend this meeting, that
Okay.
was it.
all right, perfect.
Nothing about easements, nothing about anything.
Okay.
So an acquirement usually translates to purchase, or is it lease, is it a gift we're giving?
It is not a purchase. It is a legal access grant to the utilities to provide service to your residents. So it is not a purchase, and it is only for above ground equipment that's been installed on your residential property or on your personal property.
So if we grant this access, does Duke take care of that piece forevermore, maintenance-wise?
The piece of equipment or the piece of property?
Piece of property.
No, it's still your property. What you're granting is access to service the equipment.
Forevermore.
It's in the perpetuity, yes.
And you mentioned that in the scope of the job that we're here to discuss, there were 22 easements. You mentioned the number 22?
Yes.
So you already know there are 22 of these pieces of parcel.
Yes, sir.
You've identified them
Yes,
by address?
yes.
Because they're incorporated into the deed, so you by address, so you would know where they are. So what you're asking now, before, let's say you get 15 easement okays and you don't get the other 3 or 4 or 5, what happens then?
Well, we kind of go back to the drawing board, to be honest with you, because without the easements to locate above ground equipment, we're not going to proceed with the project.
Now, how did you get easements, were there easement, you've done this whole town, all the additional spurs that go off of Gulf Boulevard. You've done all these.
They didn't do them. That was a different company.
Were there easements involved in that as well?
6, and in some cases it was. But here, we have 22 to get, as he stated. But we have people that come to the meetings, that come to our regular meetings, that live along there, has been here and already granted the easements.
Okay.
Because they're here. I mean, it's not a big deal, other than you get, instead of the lines overhead, it's underground, supplies your house. That's the clutch of the matter. And we're only going to do the east side of Gulf Boulevard and the line that cross over. That's all we're doing right now, because that's all the money we have.
Now, if I'm on the east side, and I know there's an easement involved in my property, but the only reason I know that is because when I went to change the deed name, to take my wife off it because she passed away, I found out that part of my land had an actual easement attached to it.
Is it a utility easement?
I don't know.
Okay.
What's your address?
17719 Gulf Boulevard. I'm right next to the Reddington Shores Yacht and Tennis Club.
I got a question for somebody at Duke that can answer. I'm very familiar with what easements are, okay? And I think some of the people are concerned, well, they're going to tear up their yard. Well, I think if you have to go in on their yard, yeah, I have to always know that Duke is taking care of the land after they tear it up. I mean, isn't that right?
Correct. That is also stated in the easement document, that we were
It's right
restoring
north
land
of the yacht and tennis.
as close to the original
Correct.
when we went.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
So you're gonna be good Boy Scouts
There's
and
some
leave it better
commercial
than
property
they
right
found
through
it.
there as well.
No, they don't maintain it.
We don't maintain it. But
No,
you
that's
gotta
on
get
the
it back
south
to
side.
as close to
Oh,
what
yeah,
you
there's some
saw.
commercial.
Correct, you got it,
Okay, yeah.
correct.
Yeah,
And
yours
everything,
is there.
special stones or
There's a utilities.
concrete or whatever.
Well, no.
Well, the initial process,
Yeah, that's what
significant
it is.
responsible for it. Anytime we're after that.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Like I
Well,
said,
we're
it's
trying
no
to
big
do
deal.
conversations.
Do you have any,
Sharing the
is it,
meeting.
were you guys, before I granted, do you have a little map to show what part of the property is easement, what's going to be?
Do we have that, Marion? Because these
Sorry.
are Duke questions,
Okay.
not mine.
Hang on a second. Jason's,
I'm Jason McDarby, I'm the real estate rep. So I'm the one that deals with land rights and easements for you guys, so I can answer hopefully the majority of the questions for you.
Okay, so you guys want the easements that are involved on the east side, modifications, right, to be signed over. So it's up to you to tell us how it impacts us. At minimum, you got to show us maybe a map of our property and what part is the easement and what property you would have access to and how it would affect us.
Yes,
So are you ready to do that for us, or?
sure.
Okay.
Hey, you mentioned, you didn't allude to it, you mentioned above ground equipment.
Yes.
So some properties are gonna get a box or something.
There's gonna be some type of box on your property, everything from a pedestal to a transformer. Nothing larger like the large switch gears. The largest one, I think Mary may have some pictures for you guys. It's probably a couple of feet by a couple of feet.
And we know what addresses are to get those?
We do have a list of
Are we gonna see that?
particular, we didn't come with any type of presentation as far as that.
Okay.
We
I have
want,
some drawings that we can take a look at,
Okay.
and so we can show you exactly what's going to be installed on your property.
I can share, like our preliminary print and
That'd be
find out
great.
which address, and then I could kind of tell you or give you an idea of what we propose to put on there.
That'd be good.
If that would work.
Okay, that's what we want.
Okay, perfect. All right, what's the first address?
17719 Gulf Boulevard.
All right.
I know there's an easement because I looked into it for another reason.
The easement from your property is most likely a utility easement that's been requested by the city. It'll probably coincide with a piece of equipment that's being requested for an easement from Duke Energy, but their easements are basically for their access to their equipment. And the easement will be very specific to that piece of equipment. And it's not like for your entire property.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Okay.
And they've stipulated a spatial
It's interesting because
setback.
I don't have any, there's only something right by the curb, which looks like a little, almost looks like a cable box above ground.
A pedestal.
Looks like,
pedestal, yes.
yeah, a little pedestal thing, that's it.
Correct.
And that's the only thing that's
That's what's there now.
there now.
Your service comes into your house from overhead, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
overhead,
So
overhead line.
the overhead lines will be removed, and they're going to put, there'll probably be another pedestal right there on your property line. So what you're seeing is probably a telephone pedestal.
Telephone, yeah.
Yes.
All right, so I've got 177 Terrace. Can you kind of help me figure out where, because I don't have addresses on here. Is it between 177 Terrace and 178th?
It's on Gulf Boulevard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it kind of in between those two streets? On the big screen? Yeah, it's on the big screen too.
Okay.
If that's easier for you. It's a little bit rainbowish. I don't know why.
I don't know, that looks pretty bad.
Just north of the yacht club, if that helps you.
I don't have landmarks, unfortunately, on here. So are you across from 177th in this general area? I'm sorry, let me do this again.
That's a good question. I have no clue. I've never
How about-
looked at these maps, so.
How about a toll?
Sir, what is your name? Last name?
RACHF.
You have some?
Rakowski, that's it.
Okay, you might have something better. I was just
Yeah.
trying to get an idea if you're across from a toll.
There's no street, across from?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, all right.
I'm on the east side of Gulf
Yep,
Boulevard.
which is this
Which
side.
is this side right against the
Yep.
water, and there's nothing that says you can.
I
find-
can't pull up addresses. The only thing I have is,
How do you coordinate this with addresses then?
I have a different map.
There's one, you're over in here, the duplex, right next to the tennis court.
Right, it's a,
Okay, so down here?
it's one big house, but it's set up as a condo. Yeah, A and B, right.
177.
Right, 177th and those little,
So it's it's probably this home here?
do that, and
There's, oh, I don't know. Let me see, where's your map? Okay, it's right in the corner, whatever the corner is, that's
Okay.
it. This is the pool, and that's them, this is my house right here.
Okay,
This
all
whole
right.
property, so whatever this is, it looks like a duplex, it's actually a big house split in half.
Okay.
So that's it.
Okay.
So that tells you anything?
Yep.
It's, what does it say there? There's no number on it, is there?
no, those are just
Like parcel IDs.
Lovely. So.
What do you have?
I just have, I have like a better, so most likely you're gonna have a pedestal on the.
Yeah, there it is, that's this side, right. It's, I set this up as a condo, but it's really one big building.
Correct. And so you would have a pedestal someplace in
Right,
this.
right now, there's a telephone pedestal right there, right this, right there, there's a gigantic pole that's like tilted like 10 degrees.
You're gonna be a
pedestal.
pedestal someplace in there, and there's also gonna be a pedestal on this side property as well, because you guys go into underground service.
Right on the,
Right on the corner.
yeah, right on the corner, right on the, this side of the pavement, of the sidewalk.
Yeah, on your side.
The street side of the sidewalk
Not
or my
street
side?
Your side of the sidewalk.
My side, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Before we do anything, CPWG will go out and stake the location. Part of the agreement is that you mutually agree to the location. So
It can be moved a little bit if we, I have a pretty big stone fence there, you know, that's built in, so
yeah, that's something that
they'll have to worry about, yeah, okay.
And I can show you a picture of what we're talking about too. if
Well, it's
that's
something like that telephone utility.
small.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
I don't care. Thank you, sir.
So
All
it
right,
kind
so
of,
we've identified that.
yeah, so it kind of, it's
And it
gonna look
looks like-
something
looks like
small,
that.
yes, not the round one, but this little one here.
Yeah, which is almost identical to what's there now.
Yes, yes.
Now, my only concern is, there is no room for that on the other side of the sidewalk, because soon the sidewalk comes and they have a built-in stone fence.
Okay.
So it either would have to be behind the fence, into a tree little area there, or,
It probably will, because there'll be a board going underneath the conduit, so they'll come up on the other side. That's the location.
I'm not knocking down all that fencing for that, but.
No, they shouldn't knock down that.
So this is kind of an example of this particular home on 18207.
Yeah.
Right now, they have a pole here.
Right.
And they go across, so this is what they're gonna get. in
Right,
place.
right,
So this is very similar to
That's
what you'll
exactly
get.
what I have on the other side.
On the other side of the fence?
No, on the
this-
other side of the
Oh,
property.
right.
It's
Right, yeah.
It's a,
There's a whole section of duplexes right through there, right? Isn't that your neighborhood?
yeah, right now, well, the big buildings for the Reddington Shore thing?
No, I was talking about where you live, but it's okay.
No, it's only a separate house, it's just,
Okay.
and then after that, yeah, next to me, there's another little set of duplexes too.
Okay.
It's one big house, but it's subdivided by room.
Okay.
He rents them out by the day or by the night,
Okay.
just a couple of rooms. Yeah, so I understand what that is, okay.
Yep, so that's similar to
Yeah,
what you'll have.
that's nothing, it's no
And that's what
big
we would
deal.
need the easement for.
Sure.
So it would be a 3-foot clearance around the sides of it and 10 foot in front of it, but the front clearance would be facing towards the street where you say you have a stone fence.
No, on the other side of the sidewalk, away from the street, would
Oh,
be the
okay.
fence.
Okay,
This side is nothing, you can do anything you want.
Okay.
Just, there's a couple, there's 3 or 4 mailboxes, which can be moved.
right. But that wouldn't be an issue.
No, you can move them all over the place, doesn't matter. You got plenty of room there,
Okay.
where the poles are.
Okay, so the request for you is to provide clearance around that piece of equipment that's going to be installed on your property?
Yeah, it would be fine with me. And you have to get, also on the other side, the other fellow who just bought the other side of the property about a year ago. Friends of mine lived on the other side for like 18, 19 years, but now that's been bought over, so.
What's the other address?
Same address, but it's.
His is
it's-
177.
Oh, I see what you're saying, yeah.
It's,
Are you
This is the last one.
Mr.
Gary,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, and then,
And then, yeah, they're the new tenants or
Right.
new owners that just bought the place about a year ago. I don't see them here, so I can tell them about it.
They're all gonna get pedestals
But
on
they
that
already have a
side.
pedestal on his side, between the sidewalk and the street. Almost identical for, I guess, telephone equipment or whatever.
it's a duplex, correct?
It's one big home that's split with a firewall, 3 stories.
Yes.
And I divide it up legally as a condo, but
Okay.
it's really two families.
Two
and
single-family
one
units.
Yeah, 2 single-family
Okay,
units.
so
into-
basically,
Under one
there's only
roof.
gonna be, Duke's only gonna have one pedestal on that parcel. And
Even though there's-
both being individual renters.
No, I think there'll be 2.
There's gonna be 2, one for that one half, because he has his own service to one half.
Yeah.
And the other person has service to their
There'll be
side.
a separate service, it's coming out of the same pedestal.
No, because they're gonna be on opposite sides of the corners.
Oh, your services come on different separate sides of the building? Okay.
we're talking about here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think, right now, I think he's serviced from the other side of the building, off of another pole.
Okay, and then, yeah, that makes sense.
But you know what, I can't, yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, okay. So there'll be two pedestals.
Pedestal here and a pedestal here.
So you'll probably need his signature too. I could talk to him too. Right.
There's not really an agenda.
No agenda.
Okay,
Just ask
well, thank you.
You're welcome. I don't want to
Now-
talk over someone else.
What, yeah, do you have a second, you wanna come up?
What legal document do I have to sign?
Jason has them all.
Like you see the picture between
182,
182, 11, right up to 217. Our neighbors aren't here tonight.
This is a letter that I would provide.
Let them know what we learned.
I don't know if, I just did a couple of samples, so let me see if maybe that was one I did.
Easement document itself.
Did you say 18217?
Well, all the way up. Yeah, well, that's good. You've got pictures.
Yeah, so this is what it would look like. We would just need a pedestal right here in this location.
Right.
All of the poles.
Oh, hang on, we're not looking at our house right now.
No, but I mean in general, you can't stand.
Right, can we come down?
Oh, I just took a snapshot, I apologize. You're probably, you're down this general direction.
Well, that's 17, that's 15, that's 13.
Right,
Do you have a pedestal on your front property now?
No, sir.
So what's that?
that's a pedestal. It's about this big, which is what we would be installing. That's what it would look like.
Piece of equipment's about 1 foot wide by 1 foot deep, by 2 feet tall.
All right, and where's it sitting? That's off the
Sit right on
sidewalk?
the, yes, right on the back edge of the sidewalk.
Where this one is,
Right,
behind
okay.
the sidewalk.
Okay.
This installation right on the back of the curb. What if it's on the sidewalk?
What if there's a tree there? All right.
We have some wiggle room that we can adjust it.
But does this, I'm correct in thinking that if we then wanted to extend our driveway, we cannot.
Well, it would be in the way. Do you have plans to do that?
Yes, we were going to.
Your driveway, can your driveway be, on your property line?
The driveway is on the property line,
Is it existing on the property line?
yeah, and across, so we were hoping to make it double on the front. So what does that do?
The building officials here, we should talk to the building official about that, because a lot of property restrictions would say you can't drive it on the property edge, but with the intent here is to put the pedestal as close to the property line as possible.
To the property line, in this case, between the two.
Between two properties, yes.
Which is right at the,
So the south side of your property, correct?
that's where our line is.
Okay.
Yeah, where that is.
Yes.
Oh, is this between us and Barry?
If you want to.
Oh, no, that's not gonna work.
You want it 213?
It's right
Yeah.
at the property line, which is where the,
It should be on the north side.
where their,
It has to be on the
where their
north side
reclaimed
of the
water is.
property line.
You're at 18213?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, that's where we're proposing it right now. Where's Mark?
Yeah, you can.
Hey, Mark? Forget the driveway on that side too.
I'll just give it to him and then give.
So these folks live in this home, and they have a driveway right here that they're planning to no.
We were,
We were
in the future,
thinking of making one between us and the neighbors.
Okay,
Just
all right.
have enough.
So would it, maybe if we can think about moving the pedestal over?
Yeah, we should be able to work the pedestal around anything. I was just gonna try to pull it up on,
Do you have anything on this corner?
we don't have internet on that.
I do not.
no, the property line now is, it's got plants in the wall, that would be a safer place for us, right behind.
What was the address?
18213?
182,
Just across from the
182.
mailbox. There's mailboxes here.
Okay, all right, we can work around mailboxes.
182, 13?
Yeah, it would be right behind our mailbox,
Okay.
which would be fine, because we're not gonna mess with the mailboxes.
Yeah, but that's too close to the road. They're not gonna put it that close to the road.
No,
It has to be-
it's on this side of the
It has to be
sidewalk.
back there, yeah.
It's on
It's
the
gonna be on the
west-
back side.
East side of the sidewalk.
Yeah, the back edge of the sidewalk.
So it'd be where there's plants right now between us.
That's
and-
Mike's, that's
Well, it's on the, down.
There's all the stuff right there.
Is that an issue?
No, I don't think so. Better there for us than here.
Sure, then it-
Basically, the location is, it corresponds to where your existing overhead service comes in.
There's a pole, right?
Yeah, exactly, so that pole's coming out. And so
That pole's coming out? Yes. There's a light on that pole. What happens to the lights?
Especially on this
Hang on,
case.
let me look at the drawing.
We're gonna put decorative lighting in.
Decorative?
What's,
Well, the machine is pretty big.
Yes.
We're still gonna have lighting.
Decorative lighting.
So they're gonna have like, so instead of having like the roadway lights that are now, they're actually looking at,
I thought they were still looking at a roadway.
oh, it's
with
gonna be,
the LEDs.
it's still gonna be a roadway, but it's gonna be like a, instead of being the wood pole that it's there now, it's gonna be a decorative.
Yeah, I think so, but I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
So the utility pole comes out and they might put in a light pole.
There'll be a pole, yeah, that's similar to what you'll see going in the Deer Beach right now. It's a concrete pole with a LED flat LED fixture on top of it. So the pedestal's gonna be all schematic. The pedestal's gonna be right on the property.
That'd be his
Between the two properties. The pedestal's gonna be right beside the property.
Yeah, that would definitely. Existing, wait, this is existing pedestal. No, well, there's nothing there.
I just noticed that too.
Right, yeah, there's nothing there now.
You don't have a pole to do.
No, seriously.
I'm
All right.
up turn around, this is right.
Is your house the two-story house?
Yeah,
Do you have a two-story house? Okay, all right.
Is this it?
we'd be better right here for sure for a pedestal.
So
Much
this, where are
safer
you
for us.
saying it would be?
So we've got a wall,
The thing
there's
is,
plants.
This is, this right now is all on.
Yeah, our power is back here in this corner.
So we're putting from this, we're gonna also.
So right now you have this pole that's on the north side of the property, which where's the
We've got
property
this
on
question,
here?
what if our
Property is,
service isn't
this one right
ready?
here.
This one right here. So that's where that pedestal's going right now. The pedestal right now, I believe,
The project.
is gonna be between these two houses directly where this
I
pole,
get an
where that
upgrade to
pole
the
is.
meter, want gratis?
Because,
I've got
our
two
property
meters.
line
One
runs
upstairs,
right,
downstairs, yeah.
right where the reclaim,
Are both
where
good.
the, not the
I just
reclaim,
had
other
jaws
water
replaced.
line is.
Yep.
Did you really? So then you
This
they already
one,
did
this is my
Yeah.
So basically,
I'm getting them alive.
And that's right where the pedestal would be, right there.
I don't know how they're fed now, but I don't know how they can feed this.
My property.
Yeah, sitting right there behind the,
So we can't, see, if we want to put a driveway up here,
There's a meter
a driveway
position
going.
between
we were hoping to ask an easement.
meter and some open space.
It's
like a double
We could park up this side.
Oh, is there enough room to park in between there?
Yes.
That's good.
And that's something, I mean,
That was one of my main,
Once it's there.
important questions.
It's basically a benefit. And it'll be.
I mean, once it's there, we have the easement, we wouldn't move it. But I mean, we could look at, we could look at,
What if I wanted to upgrade to a 200 amp service?
we could look at, where your driveway is, and I could come out there,
Before we say, well, you need to.
CPWG, and we can kind of talk about where the
Because
driveway's
anytime you
going
don't
and
service
everything.
upgrades,
We could-
I mean, we don't have, we haven't submitted a plan.
Yeah, no, I mean, you have a good idea where you
We
want to
thought
put it.
maybe it would be an idea because over here, we don't have much room to go anywhere because of water
minor
things.
costs, but for
So we
them,
thought,
they
okay,
have
maybe
a.
it could work, sorry.
Yeah, this is
Sorry
not,
to touch
this
your
is not as
phone.
easy as good.
That maybe we could go to this side, but not if there's a fix.
But then, so you're thinking just putting a straight driveway that just
Yeah, because we thought when this, we're waiting till the poles went underground is what we thought. And at that time, perhaps, we didn't know any of this was going to happen.
Yeah, it's something I'll probably have to come out and just look at and see
Okay.
exactly where you're driving.
Yeah, no problem.
I think it can be, I mean, it's not an issue of shipping it one way or the other.
Square footage of our house.
He has a great question. He's thinking about doing a service upgrade from 100.
We're not
He has
thinking
two.
about
That's not a problem.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. That.
No, I mean, I've already, I mean, in our design, I mean, I've taken into consideration with some of the houses being upgraded and stuff like that.
But ours hasn't.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the my side, the we side for service, I mean, the way I designed this and the size conduit I had, if it's a load increase, and it's something I need to upgrade, we'd
You
be
would
able
do
to.
it?
we'd be able to do it.
Is there an
Good, 'cause we
impact
don't
fee
have the
though?
money.
See, that's why
Impact
there
fee
might
to
be
them, because right now you guys have an overhead service, I think, right?
Yes.
So once they went to underground service, depending on what your incremental load would be,
your impact fees.
yeah, more like, I mean, what your service is size for your house, I mean, what are we looking to add?
So you got looked at it.
I don't know.
I mean, are you looking to go, you're adding 1,200 square feet?
No, we are.
You're a duplex, two 1,200 square foot units.
So I mean, would you guys be talking like a room addition or something?
No, we're not talking in like that. We're just talking that maybe this new load of stuff you bring in, our boxes are ready for it.
Oh, no, that won't.
our.
When you say box, maybe.
Our
Gain.
thing outside. our
So the
panels.
meters will be replaced with, we're the general contractor, so we're gonna be replacing your meters.
And we replace our power thing so that it can take
We've
that.
got load issues, and we're looking to move
If you want your,
You're looking to change, upgrade your panel and everything?
No.
Okay. And then, when you upgrade your panel, what size panel do you have right now, 150 amp or something like that?
probably 100.
We're hoping not to upgrade it, so that you would do.
But if you do upgrade it to 200 amp power, to a 200 amp panel, what we would be providing would handle that load.
And what we'll be providing as a general contractor is a meter for, we can provide you 200 amps. So you have two meters that are required for service that you, if you want to do a service upgrade to your house, you have to replace your panels. No, it's very expensive.
If we have not done it,
don't even own.
Correct.
because we don't have the money now to do it.
Correct.
If
Okay,
we
I
have
understand.
not done it, what would
they're
you do
telling
when it
you
came
what-
time
you
to
know, not
bring
me,
it?
but my son, what to do.
Well, you'll have to convert your overhead meter can to an underground meter can.
Who pays for that?
You're replacing the
Fight
meter.
for
We
that.
would do that.
We wouldn't replace it anymore. The underground service is a different issue than what we were talking about today. So,
What if you don't have a friendly connect?
well, that's what I'm saying. From that standpoint, I don't think that,
I'm not sure, if- David, is the city
that's
gonna be
something
paying
that
for
we
the underground
typically, like,
service
say if you came to
conversions?
Duke right now and said, hey, I want to go from an overhead service to underground
The
service,
town?
that would be a cost that you guys project.
But you're saying you're going underground, so does that mean that you would take care of the hookup?
That's something that the city still has to make a decision.
Okay, good.
My thoughts would be the city would not be incurring that cost, and they would be looking to put that cost on you. That would be my thought, but I don't know.
We don't have the money to do it, so we would have to say no to the easement then?
Until we had a condition from the city to upgrade.
One of the things that we're working with the city on right now is determining where do we have some issues at. One of the things that the city's part of their ownership for this project is to talk to the residents, and the residents that would have to go underground with service, talk to you guys about the impact and how it was going to be taking place. Now, how they decide to resolve that wasn't something that I was brought in on my
I
side.
mean, he's already got that telephone.
What's the minimum you have
And they didn't even ask
when you come to
me.
Well, the
our
town
house and
owns.
see these old meters?
If you have overhead service that can't be converted to underground, then at that point, we're gonna be at a point where what we would have to do is we would leave that pole there, leave your service overhead. I would assume that's how we would address it, but that's something we haven't worked on.
That'd be all right with us too.
So Duke's
Leave it
doesn't
alone.
have to upgrade the meter.
Yes.
This is something that's all driven from the city, they come to us as a
City might do.
But then the city might do, I don't know.
Let him have it.
But I don't think that's been addressed at this
Guarantee what
point.
he's gonna do.
Not that I'm aware of.
We're not going to spend $6,000 so the city can put a thing on our property. That's not going to happen. Just a heads up on that one. 18215, I mean, what? No.
So the
But I would
pedestals
think,
are,
like I said, I don't know.
so,
All the
it's in
details.
between, right on their property
So
line.
they're talking about putting it between us and Gary where we wanted to put the driveway up that side.
Yeah, that's,
So that's going to be another cost. I better sit down because my talk.
I retired, actually, my first retirement was when I had my.
and they get, is that on the property line also between those two houses? On the property line.
And I came down here, got a boat for 9 months, I got bored, and I sold everything.
Right, and they answered another key question, if there's stone work or concrete, they're gonna replace.
We're gonna, we'll work out, I mean, right now, like where your pole is right now, when we remove your pole and put your pedestal in, we're gonna put it back to the same condition that it's in.
It's not an issue for us, we have grass.
Yeah.
But I know he's got,
Sidewalk concrete.
he just, he just put in brand new paving stones, like last week. So I know these two guys are concerned
Well, and
about
if they're pavers, I mean, actually pavers are easier typically to work with than rates. You know, have to replace a whole sidewalk or something like that.
Right, just think
I mean, we deal with it every day from a design standpoint.
And the footprint's fairly small for the pedestal.
I mean, most of the stuff that we're impacting the customers out here with, I mean, like all these houses right here, most of these locations have a pole at it now. And we're gonna, instead of having a pole there, it's gonna have a pedestal now. Where we're still working out with the city is how we're gonna light them. So typically, most of these locations that have a pedestal in this residential area right here, they're going to get either every other one or every one. I can't remember what the spacing is. Probably in this case here, 125 feet. Each one of these locations is going to get, if there's a street light there now, they're going to get, wherever there's an existing street light, there's probably going to be a new LED street light on a decorative pole, not on the existing.
Poles around, yeah, there's definitely a pole right there. A light on, there's a light on the utility.
Because we still need to light Gulf Boulevard.
That's the one that's right there by your house.
Yeah.
Do you have the lighting?
I might have left it back. Let me go check it because I know that's here. I'm sorry.
And I mean, unfortunately,
Actually, I think I might have it here.
So you show up at the house and it's not friendly enough to receive, you walk away.
well, that's where I'm not sure what the city is.
Unless the city has agreed to kick in.
So in our preliminary, typically when I lay out these underground conversions, typically what I do is I go out there, I try to pick the best spot for our equipment to go and determine, okay, do we need an easement or not for that piece of property? And then that's when Jason starts putting all the easement information together. Then with your services, overhead service, that's going to be a deal with CPWG, and the city's going to have that discussion. Is that something they're going to do with it or not? At our point, we're not.
They make that decision. Just let us know. The city's consultant. They're hired by the city, so
To do the consulting.
Okay, they're not subcontractors, you guys.
Okay. We're just working with them. Yep. So then the city would decide and then let us
So
know.
would you like to come and see our property and see what you think about
I sure
the
can.
easement? Okay, you're welcome to provide. When can you come?
When, well, I'm on vacation starting Friday.
No, you can't have it.
I said on Friday. What are you doing tomorrow morning? Go to tomorrow morning? What time do you get up?
8 o'clock.
Okay.
Be there at 7.
I start at 6.
I'm sorry, that's middle of the night for me.
I like already.
Let's make it for 9.
Yeah, it's cool. And we'll walk you up and down the street actually, because I'm going to be talking to my neighbor tomorrow.
I got going on my
And he's really interested. His wife was really sick, that's why he's not here tonight. So, yeah, it'd be great if we could.
I think we should put everything right in front of this house.
We'll let them know that you said so.
Yeah, stack them
Please do,
up.
everything right there.
What's the address again? Do you guys have the easement? 182.
No.
Okay.
1821. Right opposite the park, 2-story. Only
Who is
2
issuing
stories.
that?
No, it's not, but it's yellow and
Okay.
it's 2-story.
And then
Does 8:30 in the morning work?
give to you guys.
Let me get it.
I do have a copy. Okay, so if you would like that, I have a copy.
That'd be great. Yeah, email.
I have a
Perfect.
8:30 tomorrow morning.
Bechtel, B-E-C-H.
The last name is Bechtel, B-E-C, have you heard of the Bechtel Corporation? B-E-C-H-T-E-L?
BC.
B-E-C-H-T-E-L. Biggest engineering firm in the world.
Really?
No relation.
The largest private.
Oh, no, that's
The largest private. They build airports.
He needs a job next
wow.
year.
Of course, they're not
No,
related.
no, but they
That never
they're not
happens.
close enough.
As a double E, I submitted my resume and they never responded.
Are you related?
I know, it's weird. Never responded.
We went to the,
That might be a good thing.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a typical
Okay.
document.
November 16th, 8:30 a.m.
This is the typical,
391-5876.
just give you a general
That's it.
understanding of what's going on. It's an underground project for the city. And this is the easement document itself.
we're saying no.
Yeah, so far.
Which is completely tomorrow morning at 8.
No, so at least you'll have the document with you.
And you guys can look over it and
Yeah, that's fine.
hopefully have questions.
Yeah, we do.
Visual, is there a graphic?
No, but do you have something?
A copy of this would be cool.
Let me see what I can get Mark to give you
And I can talk to
tomorrow.
my neighbors too.
Okay, all right. We'll see what we can get you tomorrow morning.
That'd be great.
Okay.
This is the only graphic I have.
Building is split.
So, where are we here?
This is your property.
Okay, that is.
Look at us.
Fair enough.
Aren't we lucky? We live on the water.
It's always nice that you get a flood insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Topic.
Yeah.
Just buy it.
Taxes this.
Right.
Jim Talbot.
We're going positive now.
So 10 feet wide for a pedestal.
We have to have safety purposes, so that's what the 10 feet comes into play. It is electricity, and we have our guys out there working on it all the time. We need to make sure there's enough space for them to work safely.
What about something else? If you go 5 feet in each direction, like a reclaimed water.
We work around that.
I think there's one on each side.
Yeah, before we put anything in, we'll have everything located. Reclaimed water, cable, gas. All that would be located, and then we're okay. What's the best area for this to go? And that's when you will work with CPWG, and you have the mutual agreed upon locations.
What if you feel you need to move one of those reclaimed water things?
They will.
If it's to an issue where it's going to be feasible, then that's something that they with the city and the CPWG will address.
Because there is one exactly here, exactly where you want to see that pedestal.
Across Golf Boulevard,
It's on your preferred side, and it's right on the property line. It's actually half on our property, which is a problem. We like it moved.
That's why he's
It's
involved.
definitely
that's something you should
exactly where your pedestal
and
is.
that's something you should bring up with
Well, what they did was they put 2 reclaimed water things on our land and one on the guy next door.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, half of his is on our property, and it's right where your pedestal is supposed to go.
Great. Okay.
Well, then we will work with that, and then he will work with you guys as far as the
And then we have to think about, do we want that driveway there? Because if we do, we can't have it after that's put.
Well, would you put the pedestal on the other side? If that, it's right on the property line. Would you put your pedestal just
Put it
off
on their
to the
side?
side?
You could, yes, but we would definitely need an easement from him.
You need an easement anyway from him.
Yes, we would need an easement no matter what from him, because if it's completely on his
Another
property,
1.7 from the new.
there becomes funny laws at that point. Our tariff, which is our neighboring document, you can't serve somebody else from someone else's property without property expense. So that's why we try to put split down the middle of the property lines, so that you guys both evenly split. So you guys both share the responsibility of having that pedestal on your property.
So if you decide that it was best to put it just to the north of that reclaimed water thing, which puts it on his property only, what's the issue there?
We have an easement, we'd have to,
He would have to grant the easement. He
and
has
us.
to.
And
Not
us.
necessarily you guys, because the pedestal's going to be completely on his property.
That's right.
He'd
So
probably
he
really
has
like
to.
it.
Yeah, right.
That's an option. That could be an option.
What's
I think
that?
he would like it.
That's an option.
He likes things.
Okay. Is he a collector?
But you see, I likes, I don't think,
It's grass.
and there's grass there, there's nothing.
That may be an option. So that's something that you and Mark can talk about. And if that is the best location for everything, then we would.
Mark is the gentleman that's gonna meet you tomorrow.
At 7 a.m. And if that's the case, then you guys want to meet.
Right there, I live right in this road.
I would just
remember
leave it as
coming
that.
back.
That Monday night at 6 o'clock.
Who makes the decision
We're here, he's not, we went.
to offset it by 12 inches?
It's a collective decision. So CBWG has to sign off on it, we would have to sign off on it, you would have to sign off on it.
Who makes the
property owner?
Who makes the proposal to do that?
I mean, it's a collective.
It's collaborative.
What time frame are we looking at for all of this?
To start,
I don't know yet because we still are in planning stage. So once we get all these locations firmed up and then the city says, all right, we're gonna go, then we'll know. It could, next year?
Could, as early as
Yes.
next year.
Like,
No, probably not beginning of next year, I can't imagine.
we
still have a little bit more to
It's been a
go.
million years coming, so we
Yes.
don't want to rush it. Of course. Oh, I talked to this.
don't forget this.
Sears Home Corporation construction and they were spectacular.
I know, I could never. Because the siding's on there, I know I won't be able to be mad.
But if it's on one side, you can do the side.
Right, I'm gonna do the whole side.
I got 3
He does provide
estimates.
service to the meter.
And
From the
Tommy
meter
went to
into your
Sears,
house.
and they had the most knowledgeable people who were bidding, who knew what they were doing, how to put scaffolding, how to do it, patch it, everything. And I said,
If you do a contract,
I went with that.
we're gonna replace all meters.
So if you ever need somebody to think about, you should think about that. I got them from Home Advisor. I didn't think I could find anybody. And I got these young stud contractor guys who were in the business for 3 or 5 years. And the way they were bidding on the job, because, you know, they just
From the
feel like
conductor,
they're on the edge of it.
and I'll replace
Nonsense.
the conductor to your
Sears guy came in, laser pointer, computer program.
You know what I mean?
I said, I drew this whole north face out.
No, it wasn't.
Give me the square footage. All right, you can give it to me, but I have a computer program with lasers, we'll figure it out.
Basically, your
They
whole
were like
system, you
50
use the
feet.
log, you serve it to your own system, it operates exactly the same as it
I
does.
said, this is it, I'm going with you. And I did. Now, they haven't started yet, but they're gonna start in 3 or 4 weeks. It's been, most contractors wanted 10-week lead, they're just too busy.
We'll see, I have
10 weeks.
I'll be without power, you will be without power. You could be.
I've got my business over in Lakeland.
But it'll be, I'll be at your door telling you.
This thing over there
On Tuesday,
slowed me
take
down.
the service off at 8 AM.
That's where most of the center went, right through there, right? They were saying, and I can't confirm this, but they were saying, there was more business over here. Is that true? I can't believe it. I can't believe it, because we were so happy that it was way out there, and that we were on the vacation side. Sunday night.
They got all the marketing.
Really? They were saying they were close to 100, but that wasn't the case? Didn't see any. No? Really? I was wondering about that. Because I was wondering.
We didn't see any.
You're saying, I mean, my north face, we stapled a lot of it down 2 years ago. I just randomly had my contractor staple stuff down, because I knew the north side has these long strips, and they were built in '93, and it's not gonna hang out. You could see it waving, and you couldn't get up to the fourth. There's no way we were hanging on ladders, strapped together. There's no way we could get up, and that whole thing that we didn't staple, gone. Gone. Tar paper, little insulation pieces, everything let go. All right, so I'll talk to the dentist, doctor, next door. I'll talk to Steve and Betsy, the people on the house next. So there'll be 3 of us. Hopefully we can do it. I can't say anything for Steve and Betsy, but I'll do my best.
Let me give you my card. They can always call town hall if they want to come down and talk to Mary.
Okay.
Mary's the notary if you want to come down.
Yeah, I've used her before. Wills and other stuff.
I'll be honest with you. Do you have?
I'm done with